So welcome to this session on natural language processing. Okay, we're going to see how natural language processing is applied in financial trading and investment. This is one of the sessions which we are studying in the area of AI application in finance. So we started this workshop 1st of January, and every week we touch at a particular use case of AI and particular type of AI, and then look at how it is used in the finance industry, especially in the context of algorithmic trading. My name is Abubakar Sani Ali, and I will be the one who will guide you through the workshop today. So, as a disclaimer, we are going to uh, okay. So what we're going to discuss today is basically for educational purposes and not a financial advice. So for those who are seeking for a financial advice, we will encourage you and we will highly recommend you go and consult an expert financial advisor. Okay. So with that out of the way, the agenda for today, first of all, we are going to start with an introduction. Then I will provide an overview of AI and machine learning. We will look at a little bit about natural language processing. After that, you can see how you can develop a trading strategy using natural language processing. Okay. Then we're going to look at our bot building framework. So we are going to have an overview of the way we build a trading bot. After that, we will show you how to use that framework to build a trading bot. And lastly, we will have an interactive Q&A session, followed by closing remarks. So I welcome you once again to this workshop. And as I said, this is one of the many workshops we held this month about AI application in the finance industry. I am Abubakar Sana Ali. I had my PhD in electrical engineering and computer science from Khalifa University. I specialize in AI-based applications, especially in the telecommunication sector. And I have been in this field of educating people for more than a decade. For the host institution, it is called as Taura Services. It is based in the Sharjah Research Technology and Innovation Park in the UAE. What we do in this institution includes consultancy. So we provide consultancy services for those who want to usher into the AI, IoT, and cybersecurity fields for their businesses and their career path. We also provide training as well as workshops for those who are interested in learning the art of and the science behind AI. Not only that, we also carry out lots of research and development works in collaboration with different universities, both here in the UAE and outside the UAE. So what are the goals for the workshop today? We will first of all make sure that by the end of the day, you will have a good understanding of machine learning, AI, and how they are applied in trading and investing. Okay, that's our main objective. Of course, you will also have a look at some real world case studies where this have been applied. Okay, not only that, we will see how we will implement an NLP based trading bot. So to start with the basics of machine learning and AI. When we talk about AI, we are talking about the field that focuses on trying to simulate human intelligence. So this is where you have machines that try to emulate how humans think and how humans carry out their day-to-day activities. For machine learning, it's just one case of the whole AI. The AI is uh, you can say the umbrella, and machine learning is just one piece of the whole umbrella of AI. And when we talk about machine learning, we're talking about that specific field or subset of AI where computers learn from data without explicitly being programmed. So if you have some historical data, let's say you have information about what happened in the previous interactions, or in the previous days regarding the stock market, you can feed this to the machine learning algorithm and it will be able to understand the pattern of the stock market. We will see how some algorithms, what, for example, the concepts behind them, and we will see neural networks. Not only that, we look at a little bit of data analysis and how that can be used in the context of financial trading and investment. So for those who are aware and for those who are not, there are many different applications of AI and machine learning in finance, but the popular ones include fraud detection. So if you have a bank account, you should know that they now are implementing different AI systems that they use to protect you from scammers and fraudsters. So maybe from the emails, they can be able to understand if this email is a scam, and they try to maybe block that interaction between the customer and the scammer. We have also another application that AI is used in the context of finance, which is the algorithmic trading. So in this regard, you use computers to execute your trades in the stock market. Lastly, we have also another application, which is the customer service optimization. So I'm sure if you have contacted your bank recently, one of the first, point of contact you will come across will be either a chatbot, or a speech bot where you speak to it and it replies to you. So they have now started to integrate this in many, many systems so that customers can be able to have real-time customer support. Not only that, customers can also be able to understand and have a very good experience with the customer service.
Oh,
All right. So
actually, not anymore. I don't think so.
Okay. So they'll verify your insurance once they go ahead and start getting you scheduled. Just let me get you over to.
all right. So now to machine learning tasks. So now that we have seen that, okay, AI is applied in the context of finance, then let's have a quick understanding of the types of machine learning tasks you see, so that when you are faced with a problem, when you encounter a problem and you are wondering whether AI could be a solution to the problem, with this information, you will have a very good idea of how to use AI to tackle the problem. And if possible, AI can help. So there are three types of tasks which AI or machine learning, let me rephrase machine learning, because as I said, AI has many fields which machine learning is just one of those. So machine learning can help you solve issues in these three fields, either a supervised learning problem, an unsupervised learning problem, or a reinforcement learning based problem. When we talk about supervised learning, we are talking about that uh, problem where you have a data, you have some historical data, okay, and then you have some kind of label along with the data. Take it in this way. Let's say you are a teacher, you want to teach a student, okay, and let's say you are a real estate broker and you have this mentee whom you are trying to train to know how to value houses, okay. So you tell him, okay, we are going to go to 100 houses and I will tell you the value of each house. I want you to jot it down and I will tell you the properties or the variables or the features of the house that made me come to my valuation. Okay, so you start moving with this student, and after you reach the first house, you tell him, okay, you see, these are the features of this house. The house has 3 rooms. This is the size of the house. This house has been there for, let's say, it has been built over the last 10 years. Look at the neighborhood. The crime rate in this neighborhood is good. Okay, it's very low. and the house is very close to the highway. Therefore, I'm valuing this house at $50,000. Let's go to the next house. So he records all this information. Okay, these are the features, and this is the valuation. You guys go to the next house. He told you the same thing. You wrote down the features and the valuation of all the houses. After going through 100 houses, he tells you, okay, now try to look at this data, try to figure out a pattern. How are these features related to the value? If, for example, the feature that he always tells you to take note of is just the size of the room, okay, or the size of the house, you can maybe easily figure out, okay, the bigger the house, the bigger the house, the more expensive, the bigger the house, the more expensive the house is. Maybe for one room is $10,000, for two rooms is $20,000. So if you have a 5 bedroom house, you can say easily $50,000 is going to be the price. Okay, but when you have multiple features, it might be difficult for you as a human being to be able to come up with a good valuation. But when you have this machine learning, you can have as many features for the house, and you will still be able to figure out the pattern upon which the valuation is depending on. So in this case, you have the data, which is all the history, the features, and what have you, and you have the valuation, which is the target. So this kind of learning, or if you have this kind of data sets at your disposal, you can employ supervised learning approaches. Okay, because you have the history and you have the value. The next thing you have to consider is, okay, what am I trying to predict? Am I trying to forecast or predict the value of the house? Value of a house is a continuous value, it's a continuous number, it's a numerical value. Okay, 10,000, 12,000, 11.5, and so on. What if my classification is kind of if my problem is more of classification? So this is not like telling you, okay, this is the value of the house. When you are going around, it tells you this is expensive, this is cheap. Okay, only categories. It tells you, I will give you three categories. There is an expensive house, there is a medium price house, and there is a low price house. These are the only three categories. So only categorical levels, that's what he provides you with, not numerical values. So this kind of problem, we call it a classification problem. And if your data has all the features plus these classes of each type of house, we can indicate that, okay, I can use supervised learning algorithms to be able to learn the pattern within the data so that I can be able to make predictions in the future. And in the future, if I make these predictions, I don't need to have another person going around taking these valuations. Unsupervised learning, similar to supervised learning, you have all the features, okay? You have all the features of the houses, for example, but you don't know the value. Now the value is missing. The teacher just decided to tell you, okay, houses will be of 5 bedrooms, near the, near highway and all this. He tells you all these features and he tells you, okay, house one is near highway, 5 bedrooms, this, and that, but he doesn't tell you the value. All he tells you is look at this data, try to figure out some pattern. So you might look at the data and say, okay, most likely these houses could be from the same neighborhood, even though I don't know the neighborhood. I just see maybe the crime rate is similar, the sizes of the houses are similar, you know, and maybe they are all near the highway. I can easily say probably these guys belong together. These houses do belong to the same place. So this is a clustering algorithm. So this is what we call clustering. Okay, this is an unsupervised learning. Here the teacher does not provide you with the answers. In the case of reinforcement learning, however, you do not have the data. Nobody provides you with all those features or examples of houses and their features. Nobody gives you that. Talk less of even giving you the value or the type or category of a house falls under. So all you have to do is to just go out there in the market, keep searching, going around, trying stuff. Maybe you have somebody, who you can call on the phone. You go, you tell him, yeah, I found a house, 3 bedroom, this, and I bought it for, let's say, $10,000. And when you come and you are trying to sell it in the market, you realize this $10,000 you bought the house for is too much. The house maybe is not supposed to be worth more than 5,000 and you purchase it for 10,000. So you learn that, okay, maybe next time if I see a house like this, I'm going to price it at maybe, let's say, 5,000, so that I don't lose a lot of money. Then you go and you find another house, you buy it for 6,000, only to find out later that it can be sold for even more. So with this trial and error, that's how you learn to evaluate the houses. So when you have this kind of problem where the data is missing, talk less of having somebody to tell you whether you are doing well or not. All you have is what? You and the market, for example. You want to go and start trading in the stock market, you just buy and sell. You just buy stocks and you sell stocks without having any idea what a good stock is, whether you're going to make money or not. But by buying and selling, losing your money, making money, losing money, making money, you start to learn the pattern. Okay, so this is how I make money, this is how I lose money. So this type of learning is what we call the reinforcement learning. And I would like to say, for those who are attending this session and have missed our previous sessions, we have discussed this in detail in our previous sessions. Not only discussed them, but we have shown how they can be implemented in the stock market. We have implemented regression, classification algorithms, clustering, or let's say data dimensionality reduction, as well as even reinforcement learning, all in our previous session. So if you want to learn more, you can visit our YouTube channel and you will be able to see all the videos about those. So why I took my time to explain that is because that is one of the key points, okay, key takeaways for the session today. The next thing I would like to discuss is natural language processing and what is this all about, okay? When we talk about natural language processing, this is also another subset of AI. We talked about machine learning and we have also natural language processing. And when we talk about natural language processing, we're talking about that type of AI that helps computers understand, interpret, and manipulate human language. So you provide maybe a text, a document, and you expect the computer to not only read, but to understand what it reads. Okay? So that's natural language processing. And for those of us who have used ChatGPT, that's a very good example of a natural language processing system. So we use this in different tasks. For example, text translation. So you can put a text in English and you can ask it to translate it in French. You can ask it to translate it in Arabic and so on. We have sentiment analysis. Okay, here you can provide a review, okay, or a news article, all right, and you tell it, what do you think? What is the sentiment, in this write-up? Is this sentence positive or negative? For example, you read a headline saying Tesla stock has gone up, or something like, Tesla has acquired a new partner, a new company. So we all know acquisition is good for companies, so that means there is likely a possibility that people are happy. And you might read maybe some people's comments to say, yeah, we are happy to hear that Tesla has purchased or acquired this particular company. Or you can have, a negative sentiment. For example, when the crypto market had issue because of Fred Bankman, FBS. So what happened? The crypto market struggled at that time. If you are reading and following social media or news article in that regard, you will be seeing very, very negative reviews and very, very negative sentiments about crypto. So that could indicate to you, okay, the market is suffering. Maybe I can bank on that to make some money. Speech recognition. This is also a task of natural language processing where you speak to a computer and it tries to understand and also maybe talk back to you. We have seen so many of these for years. For example, you have Alexa, you have Siri, you have Google Voice, you have Cortana. These are all speech recognition systems. So it's part of the natural language processing tasks that you can use in as an application. So we have seen them, and based on these tasks, we are going to look at how this natural language is applied specifically in the finance sector. For example, you can have an AI system that can read and analyze financial reports on your behalf. So you provide financial reports of a company, they file these financial reports and you give it to the AI and it will be able to analyze it. Okay. You have market news. So based on this market news, you are, let's say, a news trader. You look at news. If there is a positive news about a certain asset, you buy. If there is a negative news, you sell. Okay. Social media for insights. For example, you are on Reddit and you see that people are talking about, let's buy what's the name of this GameStop, right? GameStop at that time when GameStop was very expensive because of what happened in the Wall Street today. So you have this bot that is there monitoring Reddit, and once he realizes that people are happy about GameStop, he goes and buy it for you. So this is some of the ways that it is used in that regard. Okay, and it powers a lot of sentiment analysis. So mostly this is what they do, like sentiment analysis. You look at the sentiment in the news articles, in the social media feeds, look at the financial reports. If the sentiment about that is good, you now say, okay, I think it is high time I buy or I sell. Okay, and you can do this with the real-time stock information actually. So imagine now you have this as a functionality to your, let's say, technical indicators or fundamental indicators. Okay, you are an investor, you have your fundamental ratios, okay, that you use to be able to buy or sell based on intrinsic and value of that stock, for example. Then you have this as a tool. It's another tool in your arsenal. I believe this will add value a lot. For those who don't know, this has been used greatly in Wall Street. Okay, these big guys in Wall Street have been using natural language processing, especially sentiment analysis, okay, to look at sentiments and make orders, purchase orders on stocks. Renaissance technologies, these are very popular, and they have, everybody knows that they use sentiment analysis as one of their trading strategies. BlackRock, Citadel, Charles Schwab, JP Morgan, one or two ways they have used these systems. Okay. So in essence, why do we use these AI systems? One is, of course, to enhance our predictive accuracy. When we make predictions, maybe we make it ourselves, then we have this system that can turn huge amount of data, analyze that huge amount of data, come up with insights. This will further verify our analysis, and it will make us make a more informed decision. So that's why we call it data driven decision making assistant or something like that. Okay, so it has been there, it has been used, and you can also use it in this regard. So that's in a nutshell what natural language processing is, how it is used, okay, in the context of finance sector and what have you. All right. So we are going to go into seeing how things can be done in real life for practical scenarios. If you have questions, you can ask before I move on. You can actually open up your mic or send it in the chat if you have any question. If there are no questions, then I will move on to the next section. All right, no question. Okay, so let's move to the next section. Let's see how we can build a trading bot. So to build a trading bot, we normally follow a framework. So whenever you have a framework, it makes your life easy. All right, it makes things easy for you because you are just going to follow the framework and you will get your results. So for those who have been trading, okay, or investing, you know that there are three things involved: the strategy. So if you are an investor, you know why you buy a particular stock and why you sell a particular stock. You have your own strategy in place, unless if somebody is just gambling in the market. So that's the strategy part, right? The rules, the set of rules you define to buy or sell stocks. The psychology, this is the emotional state. Okay, when you are making the trade, what is your emotional condition at that point? Are you happy? Are you excited? Are you overconfident? Are you fearful? Are you scared? Are you greedy at that time, or are you hopeful? And psychology is one of the biggest factors that determines the win or success rates, as well as the failure or loss rates. So if you can control your psychology when building a trading strategy or when executing trades, then you are likely going to succeed at the end of the day. The last aspect is the management. How do you manage your money? Okay, how do you manage your money so that you do not lose your money? We don't want to go to the market and keep on blowing up our account or losing our life savings. People who have been there working and then they put their money in the stock market, then they lose everything. So how do we manage our money? So these are the three components of trading or investment. And the point is, how will algorithmic trading help? Okay, how will computers help? How will machines help us in this regard? So if you use the computers to execute trades, that is called algorithmic trading. And one of the ways that it can help you is to, for example, determine when to buy a particular asset. Okay, so it could be part of your strategy so that it helps you determine when, how much, and what amount. Okay, this way you will be able to execute orders at the best possible prices, and by doing this you reduce the impact of your emotions. And as I said, the psychology and human emotions, these are our biggest enemies when it comes to trading and investing. More benefits of the bots include efficiency and speed. These things are fast. They can buy and sell in orders in milliseconds, in nanoseconds. Okay, you can ask Citadel, you can ask Renaissance Technologies. In a second, they can execute hundreds of trades. Hundreds of trades. They buy and sell. They buy and sell because they have these supercomputers that are very powerful and very fast. Okay. Not only that, consistency and disciplined trading, because they are machines. Okay, they are consistent. If you tell them to do this, they will do it. You, on the other hand, is not the same. Totally not the same. Maybe today you are even able to wake up early in the morning. Tomorrow you might sleep off and forget to wake up and start your trading the right time. That's say if you are very disciplined, for example. Consistency is a different issue. Management, how do you manage your risk? When it comes to risk management, this is where most people lose money. Okay, you see a very good trading opportunity, you go and buy, let's say, a particular stock because you are hoping it is going to reach a particular value before you sell. Then it goes to that value and you decide to move your take profit level. You said, okay, you know what? Why don't I wait a bit more? So I wait a bit more, maybe I will make more money. All right. So this could be an issue, but with the machines, with the trading bots, if you tell them buy at this price, sell at this price, that's exactly what they will do. You have backtesting capabilities. And this is saying that if you have your bots, you can be able to test it out in the history. Humans cannot go back in time, but these bots can go back in time. If you have historical data, we know what the prices are, we know what happened. We have all these news articles from all maybe the past 1 year. I can feed these news articles of the past 1 year, have my sentiment analysis system, give it a news, let it see what happens. If the news is good, it buys. If the news is bad, it sells. And at the end of the 1 year, I know the prices at each specific time, and I know the price I bought, and I know when I sold my, when I sell. So with this information at hand, I will be able to see whether my strategy is good or bad. But if I am going to test strategy now, I develop a strategy to buy or sell, what happened? I have to now try it out, put it in, test it in the market, wait maybe for a month, 2 months to verify whether this strategy is going to work or not. But instantly, if I have my trading bot that I developed that can execute that strategy, it can go back in time and I can get my backtested results in what? In seconds. Lastly, the scalability it brings to the table. If you are the only one building, working, how many assets can you or opportunities can you be able to spot? I am sure very few, because how many screens can you watch at a time? But if you have trading bots, you can deploy them in hundreds of, different, and they will all be there, each one of them working for you. Just tell, like they are waiting there, waiting for to get the opportunity to go into the trade or get out of the trade, all for you. So you have this and that's the scalability aspect. So these are some 5 major benefits of having trading bots. But of course, they come also with some few disadvantages. For example, the implementation could be an issue. Again, when it comes to, let's say, the market, historical data might not be indicator of what will happen in the future. Maybe previously things are following the same things, a different pattern, and then something happened. COVID happened, things change, you know. So you have to always be there, also making sure you are monitoring it and trying to adjust it accordingly as the market adjusts. But the benefits far outweigh the disadvantages. Tools we will use when building a trading bot: we will have ChatGPT Plus, we will have Colab, Python libraries, and then there is the Alpaca API. So what is ChatGPT Plus? Everybody now, I'm sure, is aware of this tool. Okay, it is also a natural language processing tool. So of course we are going to use it, but that is not the main usage for it in this regard. Okay, that could be, yes, an application, yes, that you use it to generate codes. So what we are going to use ChatGPT Plus is, we're going to tell it this is our strategy, and then we would like it to give us the code, the executable code, which we can run, because trading bots are always codes. They are executable codes that you design or develop to follow your own trading strategy. Okay, so this is the way we intend to use ChatGPT, just to get our strategy to be converted into executable code. And once we get the code, we plan to use this code, okay, in Colab. All right, we plan to use the code in Colab. So how do we use the code? We will copy it, and then once we copy it, we will come and we will paste it in Colab. Colab is a Python, is a cloud, Python-based environment. So when you have a Python code, you can easily run it in Colab, and it is free. Google Colab is free. You can use it. It's very powerful. It comes with so many libraries installed, and you can share it. You can backtest the strategies and what have you. Okay. Python libraries, since we are going to use Google Colab, which of course is a Python-based environment, we require some Python libraries. Why libraries? Because we don't want to be building everything from scratch. It's like you trying to, let's say, build a car, and then you want to build every part of the car from scratch. You want to manufacture the tire from scratch. Okay, you want to manufacture the body from scratch, the engine from scratch, headlamps from scratch, everything from scratch. then it becomes very difficult. How long will it take for you to build the car? But when you have, for example, these libraries, you have companies, okay, that are building parts. Can talk to maybe this company, tell them I want a tire of this same size, okay, and they give you the tire and you use it for your car. Talk to somebody, I want a headlamp, this type of headlamp, they provide it for you and you use it. And these are what libraries are also. When we are writing code, we have some developers who have already provided and developed some codes, and you can just go and use those codes, and it helps you a lot. It saves you time. Some of those libraries include pandas. Okay, this is for data analysis. NumPy, okay, is for numerical computation. Matplotlib library is for visualization. You want to print, some charts, some graphs. You use Matplotlib library. Yahoo Finance, Yahoo Finance library gives you access to the market. You can go to the market, you can get information about stocks, about forex, crypto, and so on using Yahoo Finance. It will tell you history. Okay, let's say you want to see the historical data, you can get all this from Yahoo Finance. Technical analysis library, if you want to use technical indicators, for example, moving average, MACD, Bollinger Bands, what have you, you have this one. They have developed it specifically for that. Scikit-learn, if you are going to use machine learning, you use scikit-learn. TensorFlow, if you're going to use deep learning, deep neural networks, Python 2 for neural networks. News API. Okay, so this is a new one. In our previous sessions, I have not added this. The reason being that we do not need it before, but now we need it. Okay, this will give us access to news articles. So we'll have all this curated news, and we will be able to access news in the internet from this API. NLTK, this is a natural language processing toolkit. Okay, it provides us with different types of algorithms that can be used to carry out our natural language processing task. OpenAI, this is a tool maybe which we are going to use. For example, the ChatGPT was made by OpenAI. So you can use ChatGPT via an API and you communicate with it, you integrate it into your trading or investment strategy. You can do all that. Okay, so these are the libraries we're going to use. Okay, so now we have developed the code, we are happy, we have tested it using historical data all in Google Colab, but our main target is we want to connect whatever we do to the real market, right? We do not just want to put things, okay, we like this, and then we go back to the real market and be executing trades manually. That's not what we want. We want the bot to be able to do that execution on our behalf without even us having to be around. And that's where Alpaca API will help us. Okay, so it is free API for you to test your strategies. Alpaca, first of all, we have what we call the Alpaca securities. These are brokers. They provide you with a brokerage account. You go to Alpaca, you register, you will get an account. Once you get this account, you can be executing your trades like all other brokerage accounts out there. But the good thing with them is they provide this API that you can connect. Okay, API will form a bridge between your code and the brokerage account, so that from your code you will be executing threads and they will be implemented or executed on them on your account. Okay, so that way you will be executing threads in real life. So this is the Alpaca API, and it helps us in this regard. So these are the 4 tools which we're going to use, and you will see how I will use them to be able to build the trading bot. Okay, so but before I go into this, there is the next part which I'm going to talk about, which is the components of algorithmic trading bot. If you have questions so far, you can ask always. If there is any question, just send it in the chat, and once I reach a stopping point, I will address your question. Okay, so if you have any strategy, okay, trading or investing, it normally comes with these 3 components. First of all, you have the signal component, it's the signal part. Then you have the order, how you place the order, and then lastly you have the risk management part. So the signal part, this is what tells you when to buy. Okay, or let's say it tells you if there is a trading opportunity. It's like the signal, you know, the green, red, and orange. So if it tells you this is green, so it is telling you to buy. So if it is red, it is telling you to sell, go short. Okay, people are not happy with Tesla, so most likely their stock price is going to crash. So let's go borrow some shares from a broker, sell them at the market price, wait till they crash, then we go and buy the same amount, you know, the same number of shares and return them back to the broker and make the difference as profit. So this is like green, red. Then you have the orange, right? Orange is the neutral. You don't do anything. So you want to have this as part of your strategy. The other type is now that you have been able to identify an opportunity, you have seen an opportunity. Are you going to buy immediately or are you going to wait? Okay. If you are buying immediately, right, then the moment you see the opportunity, you buy. You place the order, you indicate the amount of shares you want to buy or what have you, and you buy. If it is that you want to wait, then what are you waiting for? Are you waiting for the price to come down further so that you will increase your price margin, you know, profit margin, sorry? That is a limit order. You are waiting for it to come down so that your profit margin will increase. Or are you waiting for it to the price to go, you know, in the direction of your prediction? So you are predicting it is going to go up and the price starts to rise. So you are happy, okay, this is a good sign that I'm going to make money because things are going in my way. So this is a stop order. The last component is the risk management. So you have identified an opportunity, you have executed the trade, you are inside the trade, you've entered the trade. Then when are you exiting? When are you going out? Are you going to stay there? Maybe you even leave the position for your grandchildren, or you going to, you know, set a particular level. Once that level is reached, you get out of the trade. So this is what we call the risk management part. If you're going to wait, maybe for you to lose all your money, then we'll say good luck, and that is not a good practice. So the good practice is to set a level. Okay, I'm expecting that Tesla is going to increase in price. Therefore, once it reaches this amount, now it is 200. If it reaches 300, I'm going to sell. I don't care whether it is going to go up to 500 after I've gone out of the trade. I'm happy with my $100 profit that I made per share. I'm happy. I will just go and enjoy my life. In terms of stop loss, you are saying, okay, if I happen to be wrong, that I made a prediction is going to go up to 300, but if it falls down to 150, that means I was wrong. My prediction was wrong. It's not going up, it's coming down. So I'm not going to wait till when it crashes to zero. The moment it reaches 150, I will exit the trade and go away with my $50 loss. So that 150 level is my stop loss. Position sizing, this is saying, okay, once I spot a trading opportunity and I decide to enter, I'm going to only put a certain portion of my money. I'm not going to put everything into this one particular trade. So that's position sizing. You have to also define, because if you put in all your eggs in one basket and that basket crashed, then you are gone together with the basket. Okay. So then how do we intend to use natural language processing to build these three components? So where the signal part, okay, the signal part, we will start with that. So how do we get a signal is, let's say we get news. Okay, once we get a news, we will feed it into our system, our NLP system. Okay, and in this case, this one is sentiment analysis. So we want to see the sentiment of people about this. Okay, so this system will give us an output. The output could be either positive, okay, it could be neutral, it could be negative. Okay, these are the three outputs. Okay, so if the output is positive, I will enter the trade, right? If the output is negative, or let's say not enter the trade, if I see that Tesla is going, people are happy about Tesla, then I'm going to go long. Okay, I'm going to buy Tesla share. But if the sentiment is negative, I'm going to go short. So I will borrow shares from broker, sell it in the market, and then once it is at the level I was expecting it to fall to, I go buy shares and return them to the broker. For neutral, I don't intend to do anything. So I will not do anything if it is neutral. So this is my signal. My signal is going to come from the NLP engine. All right. So that's my signaling part. So the next part is my logic. Okay. So the logic is going to be based on the signaling part. Once I get the signal, I'm going to buy, I'm going to go long or short. Okay. So if I'm going long, though, there are some few things to be considered. One, I'm going long and I was not in any position. So this is the first time I am buying Tesla. I do not hold any Tesla share, for example. So I see that and the sentiment is positive. That means I want to go long, and I realize I have not even bought shares of Tesla before. In this case, I will go long. I will go and buy. Okay, I will buy. But if I was already in the trade, okay, if I'm already holding position, let's say I already bought it because yesterday the sentiment was also good, then I will just maintain. I will maintain. I will not buy again. I will just maintain the position to avoid duplicate. All right. And the reverse is the case for the short. Okay. So if I go short, if I'm in position, if there is no position, for example, if there is no position, I will what? Sell. If I am in position, this is no position, this is in position. If I am in position, I will maintain. Okay. So this is my logic. And if the sentiment is neutral, as I said, I'm not gonna buy. However, there is another scenario that I put. Okay. Previously, I was in position. Then I see that the sentiment reversed. Okay, yesterday people are not happy about Tesla, but today apparently Tesla did something good and people now are happy. Okay, then I will exit the trade. I will exit. Okay, because yesterday people are not happy. So because they are not happy, I decided to go short. But then today Tesla did something good. People are now happy. The sentiment has reversed. I'm going to exit the trade. And if I have been able to make some little amount, I will just take my little amount and go. So this is going to be my trading logic. The order type. Okay, so once I spot an opportunity, I'm going to buy. So I'm going to use market order. I'm not going to use any type of order. I'm just going to use market order. Risk management. How do I intend to manage my risk? First of all, my position sizing, I'm going to limit it to maximum of 2% of my account balance. Okay. So if I have what? $10,000, maximum I'm willing to lose is what? $200. All right. After the position sizing, my risk to reward ratio, I'm going to put it to 1:2. Okay, it's going to be 1:2. Meaning if I was willing to lose this $200, then I'm hoping to get what? $400. This is my reward. This is my risk. This is what I'm hoping to get as reward. So for example, let's say I bought Tesla at what? At $500. Okay. And I'm okay with losing $200. That means once Tesla reaches what? $300, I'm going to get out of the trade and accept my 200 loss. So therefore, the $300 level is my stop loss. Okay. And I am hoping to get 400. So this is going to be 500 plus what? 400. And this is going to be 900. So once Tesla reaches 900, I'm going to take my profit. So this is going to be my TP. I'm not going to wait, even though it is going up. I'm not saying, okay, let me wait till it reaches 5,000. No. I have already set my take profit to be 900. So once it reaches 900, I will sell and I will go. And I will be happy with my $400 profit. Okay, this is my risk management. All right, so that's my logic. And this logic, you will see. So this, what I just defined here, is the trading strategy which I have defined. Okay. The next thing is I'm going to do environment setup. I will test the natural language machine. After that, we will see how to do this by testing the strategy. We will connect to the market and then we will automate the trades. Okay. So the next thing is Q&A. So before we move to the implementation part, the demonstration part, if you have questions, please go ahead and ask. If there are any questions, go ahead and ask. All right. So I believe there are no questions. So for those who want to get access to the resources, you can go to our YouTube channel. All right. Just put Asat Academy. Okay, ASAT Academy in YouTube, and you will be able to find the channel. Okay. We'll see all the recordings of our previous sessions, and you will receive the recording of this current session within a week. It will be uploaded. We have our learning platform. Also, you can go to our learning platform and you'll be able to access this. Okay, the learning platform is Asat Academy also, but .ai. No space between Asat and Academy, and you put .ai. Okay, so Asat Academy.ai, ASAT Academy.ai, and you will be able to access our learning platform. You will see also the recorded sessions. We normally upload our videos there within 24 hours after the session. Not only that, you can be able to download resources. So all the codes that we are going to see, the prompts which I'm going to use, as well as this lecture note. Okay, you will get access to the lecture note as well. So you can download the resources. And we have also some AI-powered features to help you streamline your learning process. We have a teaching assistant in form of chatbot that you can use to chat. Okay, we have a real-time feedback on assignments. So if there are assignments, quizzes, or stuff like that, we can also get a feedback via this AI. We provide you with a real-time feedback on your assignment, and so much more. So what's next? Okay, so say week 1 of January, we were building simple bots. Week 2, we integrated machine learning into our strategies. Week 3, we went further to build more complex algorithms that use reinforcement learning as well as deep learning. And then this is the final week of January. We are building trading bots that utilize natural language processing. So if you need special assistance, you just want to discuss further, or maybe it is guidance you need, Okay, you want some ideas, or you just want to ask some few questions related to what we've discussed, you can book a free meeting with me. Okay, I'll send it in the chat. You can easily do that. Just use this link in the chat, and yeah, you can be able to book the meeting. If you want to develop a project in this regard, AI-based projects, you can reach out to me. If you have some research study you want to do, you can reach out to us. If you are seeking for training as well, you can reach out to us. And as I said, the meeting is free, so you don't need to pay for it. You will just have a brainstorming or discovery session, and I will provide you with the little insights I know of. Okay, so I will move on to the development part. Okay, so the link to the one-on-one chat, okay, one-on-one discussion is in the chat. You can just copy it and you can book a 30 minutes call. All right, so let's move to the next step. I will share my screen now. Okay, I believe my screen is now visible and you can see my screen. Okay, so these are the tools that we are going to use. Okay. So I'm going to go through each one of them to show you how to use them. And I will show you what I implemented, which you can also follow to implement. First of all, we have the Alpaca. So if you have Alpaca, you can just log into Alpaca. And once you log in to Alpaca, you can be able to place orders. So let's start with Alpaca. Let's see how it works. So as I said, this is a trading account, Alpaca Securities, as you can see here, what have you. So crypto, stock, forex, you can buy, invest, or trade. Okay, so these are all the trades we made so far during the workshops. So we were able to make good money here. So when we started these workshops, we were sending orders directly from our code. I have not cancelled some of them. They are still running, as you can see. We are making money with some, we are losing money with some. I can't remember the strategies though. I can't remember at all. I just executed them and I left them. Okay. So these are the costs. Okay. So in Alpaca, if you want to buy things manually, if you come to the home page, you come down, you will see this part here. Let's say you want to buy Netflix. How do they write Netflix? NLT, right? Okay. How to spend correctly? Aha, Netflix. Okay. So this is the symbol. This is the current price and the order type. We want to buy market, so we want to buy immediately. Here we indicate the number of shares. But if we are doing position sizing, assuming we have 100,000 as our account balance, 2% of 100,000, that's $2,000. Okay, so we're going to buy $2,000. All right. And what we do is we just check review order, what have you, and we say confirm order. Order created. Let's see Netflix. Aha, here. This is Netflix. Few seconds ago. Okay, it's now filled. 2,000. You see it here. The one here. Okay. If you want to cancel, you click here and you close the order. You type here. It tells you, do you want to liquidate your position, and what have you. I will just say never mind. Okay, so this is how you do it manually, and we will see how we can do the same process directly from our coding environment. All right, so if you look at our framework, the first thing we want to do is to start with building a trading strategy, and that is where ChatGPT comes into play. Okay, so I kind of talk to it and discuss with it my strategy. Okay, yeah, and yes, so this is it here. So I tell them, let's build a simple strategy. My objective is to use NLP to build a trading strategy, and the trading bot. This is the logic, as I was telling you about, generated when the latest news sentiment is overwhelmingly positive, and we are going to go short if the latest news is overwhelmingly negative. All right. So after each news article entry, so once we receive news, we're going to feed this data into the NLP model. Then we will get the prediction, which is the sentiment. Okay, what is the value? If the prediction is to go long and we are holding no position, then we will go long. We will set our TP and stop loss according to the risk management rules. However, if the prediction is to go short and we are in no position, enter short, we set these guys to accordingly. If the prediction is the same, that as I said, if I already bought and it is still telling me the sentiment remains the same, nothing is changing, people are still happy, then I will also maintain my position and I will adjust things accordingly. However, once the sentiment reverse, so if the prediction is opposite of the current position, this indicates sentiment reversal and will exit the trade. So these are the things I explained to you earlier. And as I said, market order is my order type. Risk management 2%. Stop loss is going to be based on the risk to reward ratio. Okay. So I discussed this and I tell it to let me know if it understands this before we move to the next step. And it went ahead and told me that it understood my strategy, gave a summary. Always good to read this summary to make sure things are good and your strategy is as expected. So once this is done, I know the next step is to do um, to give it a go to test it out. Okay, so we are happy with building the strategy. The next is to set up the environment, and that's what I did here. These are the libraries. You remember I told you about Python libraries? These are the libraries, all those news API I told you about, natural language toolkit, Alpaca, Pandas, Y-Finance, Matplot library, all these are the guys. Okay, so we will install them so that we can be able to use them. Okay, so that is setting up the environment. Next is the what? Natural language processing. So let's see. This is the fun part. Okay, this is the fun part. So I'm going to use the news, and I got this code. Okay, here. So I told it, okay, using the news. I told it, let's use the news API. Okay, and use this library to make a sentiment analysis for the latest news on the AAPL, Apple stock. So I want to do sentiment analysis on Apple stock. All right. So it told me this. It told me to install stuff which I already did, and it told me this is how you fetch the latest news. This is how you prepare things. This is what you do. So all I did was just copy and paste. Okay. So I copied the first one, which is this one, and I pasted it here. All right. Well, there is something here tells me I need to replace this. So I will have to tell you this is the first step. Sign up for news API. So you have to follow this site. If you go to their website, they will ask you to register. Once you register, you can get your API. I already have my API key. That's why I'm already signed in. You can also do that. They will give you your API key. And I got mine. This is my API key. So with this key, I can be able to access the news articles. Okay? And this is how it returns the news. It will tell you the source, it will tell you where it got and the article when it was published. For example, this is the latest news about which one? About Tesla. So the query is Tesla. here, and this is the content. Okay, so you can see after achieving record sales, so this Podco has taken a step back, scaling down its EV plan despite this. Sorry, guys. Okay, so now we will look at this and we will see whether this is a positive. For me, I will say this is what? This is positive, right? They have achieved what? Record sales. Okay, so Tesla have achieved record sales and what have you. Oh, this is not Tesla, sorry, Ford. So this is an example of how it returns this. And exactly, I use that, copy the code directly from here, paste it here, and then I got all articles related to Apple. Okay, my query is Apple, the language is English. I want to sort things by the publisher. So the latest news first. So we have the first news, which is this one. You can run this just to show you that it is running and get the all articles. Okay. Okay, so this is the latest news. You can see it was published. This is the time that this news was published. Okay, the time and the date. All right, and this is the title. Match rate, cut odds, flow met as what? Magnificent 7 search. Okay, what I can do, even gives you the link. Let's open the link and see if it is true. So you can open the link that it provides and see if the URLs it provides are true. So you can see some more additional information. So yeah, this is how you check this sentiment analysis. So we got this news and everything. Okay, so we are happy with these articles that we are getting. But the question is, can you sit down and read all of this? Can you sit down and read all of this? We have around 500 entries, I believe. Total result 606 entries, so 600 articles that were returned for us, all for you to read and take a look at it. Okay, so it told us to do this, which is this next part, preparing for this. I copied it, I did it. This one too, I copied this, pasted this part. Here I got some headlines, which is this part. And then I have this. So I printed them out. So look at the headlines. I look at the output. So the first one is BOFA. Oh, okay. This is not the first one. Okay, this is the first one. All right. So look at it. Match rate cut odds flow met as magnificent 7 search. So this is the headline for the first or latest, most recent news. And they have these values. The sentiment comes in 4 values, or in 3 actually. It comes in 3 values. So this is negative. So when it read the article, it saw that like 0.175%, or you can say 17.5%, we can say this is negative news. 50% we can say this is neutral, there is no positive, no negative. And 0.325, which is 32.5% of it, is likely to be a positive news. The compound tells you the overall, okay, the average, which is 0.425. And this one ranges from -1 to 1. If it is -1, it is telling you that the news has overwhelmingly negative, like that is the worst case scenario about that particular asset. If it is +1, that is the best news possible, that's what the compound is doing. So in my case, I just want to say, okay, if the compound is above 0.5, then I'm happy. I think overall, people are happy. Okay, if the compound is less than -0.5, okay, so my range will be so I will sell. For example, I'm going to buy Tesla if this compound is greater than or equal to 0.5, and I'm going to, this is go long, I'm going to go short if compound is less than or equals to minus 0.5. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to do. Okay, so you can look at it. Aha, here, for example, the compound here is 0.765, overwhelmingly positive. This is a good time to buy Apple stock. You know, 5 big analysts, AI moves. Apple and IBM. Look at the news. Apple and IBM upgraded. Baidu, best AI play. You know, since Apple and IBM upgraded, that means Apple has upgraded. Most likely, people are happy because of the upgrade Apple made. Their stock price will soar. And you see 0.765. You know, here too, I will most likely go into the trade. Also, you see, so Apple shares were bought by Littman Gregory Wealth Management LLC. So you are seeing that if these big guys are buying this Apple stock, maybe they have done some calculations and they realize it is going to rise up. Why don't I follow them and buy as well? So this is why you see this. Okay, let's look for a negative sentiment. Apple is a good company, so it's very difficult to find negative. But this is another good one. Another partners, Balbao Wealth Partners, they sell this particular thing. Okay, but this is saying this is good. Anyways, okay, this is a negative sentiment, but it's 22%, not yet 0.50%. I'm looking for negative 50%. I don't know if there is anything lower than negative. This is 10%. So I will buy here. Here too, I will buy. Okay, it's quite difficult to find. I think this is the highest I've seen so far. You know, minus 33%. 6. Well, you get the gist. So this is difficult for me to follow, but the robot can do that. It can easily do that. Okay. So the next thing is, let's see, we want to connect to the market and we want to buy Apple. So let's look at my alpaca. Okay. So I have shown you how to buy stock of Apple directly from the alpaca pod, right? You can buy, you can sell, and you can do whatever you want. But here, if you come down, you will see API keys. Okay. This here is used if you want to access your account via the coding environment. This is my coding environment and this is my brokerage account. And I am going to try to buy apples. And I told this same thingy that this is what I want to do. I told it to ChatGPT and it gave me this code. So all I did was to copy and paste. However, it told me to set my API key. So at that point, this place was, was holding a placeholder. It was a placeholder. This one also was a placeholder. So if you come to Alpaca, you'll see API keys. If you don't have them, you can generate them. And you'll see 3 values: the endpoint, the key, and the secret. Copy the endpoint, copy the key, copy the secret. This is the key. Look at it here. PK68, PK68. Okay. This is the endpoint. Paper API, paper API. The secret is hidden. You can generate it. Paper trading account, so I do not mind. Okay. So let's see. Let's run this. Let's see if we run this. Can we see order of Apple placed? Aha, Apple. See it here? Apple. A few seconds ago. 1 quantity. My quantity is 1. See it's here. It's 1. Only 1 quantity. Now it's there. Gonna be filled. Gonna wait. Okay. I'm happy. So this has shown you my connection between here and here. Okay. So everybody is happy. The next thing to do is to backtest, right? Okay, so we want to test this strategy. So we want to go back in history and see. Since we got all these news articles and the points I was showing you, assuming at those points I purchased and at those points I sold, will I make some money or will I lose some money? If I focus on the compound, based on the value of the compound, I buy or I sell, what happened? I think the last news article was when? Was at when? Published at. Okay, the last news article was 18th. Yeah, 18th January. So 3 days ago, something like that. That was the last article. Okay. All right. So what do I do? Okay. So I came back to ChatGPT. All right, and we have discussion here. Okay. So I told it awesome. Next, I want to test this strategy, which I described above using the sentiment analysis model and the collected news data. So that news data, I want to use it. I want to print the number of total trades, the number of times I go long, number of times I go short, number of times I hold my trades. This I didn't do anything. Number of times I didn't trade. The return I got in percentage, in dollar, assuming my initial capital was $10,000, and I maintain the risk management I mentioned in the strategy. Write me the code to simulate the strategy on the historical data set while recording its trades outcome. Lastly, evaluate the strategy based on profitability, maximum drawdown, and so on. Okay, so it went on and it started doing its thing, gave me the code, but the code came with lots of placeholders and I was not happy. These placeholders, I don't like it. I want it to do all the work. I told it to break the code into pieces to avoid the placeholders, and it did exactly that. So it broke the code into pieces, and I got these codes. Okay, so let's run them. So it was telling me the first one is the sentiment analysis. This is where we get the sentiment and we return only the compound. That's what we want, the compound. We get the trading class. So this is where we do our trade. So we can see this is the risk amount, which is the percentage, the balance times the risk per trade, which we're going to take. Okay, of course, is 2%. We know the current price, which is the entry price. We look at the long. Okay, we get all this. Okay, so if we are going long, that is, we are going long. We are going to need more logic for setting TP. It's telling me this again. No problem. Logic for adjusting this. Okay. Here, this is the reset. This is how we exit the trade. Okay. It's backtesting the strategy. Okay, it tells me, okay, I want to, this is how you backtest. So we take the news data, we take the price information so that it knows what is the price now, and it can do the calculation. It takes the strategy, of course, which is the thing we define. So now with this, it can be able to keep records, have all this information for us, and the record is what we want to return at the end of the day. So we will analyze these results based on the trade records that we got. We return the trade records and we can be able to calculate the wins, the losses, the total trades, the win to loss ratio, the total return, and the return percentage. And we will print it all out so that we can be able to see. So it provides the integration code. This is how you integrate the code. All right, so I got everything on them, and I will show you some good thing. If you come across, let's say, an error, what you do is to type and tell it the error. Why I'm showing you all this is because if you don't know how to code, it might be difficult for you to follow along the code. It's better you just tell it, even though it might take you longer to resolve the issue, but at least it is one way of resolving the issue. Okay, so I got it all the way up to here. Okay, so yeah, all right. So this. Okay. Let's print the price data. I want to see the price data. Okay, nice. So look at the dates. So the closing date, this is the price, okay, that it closed at. On the 4th day, it closed at 126. 50th day, it closed at this. And yeah, this is the Apple. Okay, so we have all of this. So it's 1 year. So this data is 1 year. Okay, I don't want 1 year because my news is only for 3 days, right? So the start date will be 18, I think 18/01. Okay, all right, so the end date gonna be now. All right, and yeah, okay, so I think we can add the time also so that we have it, like, because the news comes in, I think, every 5 minutes. Okay, so yeah, let me show you how to do it in ChatGPT. Okay, assuming I don't know. Okay, I will just say, okay, yeah, I forgot to mention to you that the news headlines are for 3 days only. That is from 18/01/2024 to 21/01/2024, and the time span article is less than a minute. So update the price data accordingly. Because it is important for you to synchronize the time you get the news and the time you get the price. Otherwise, it will be difficult for you, okay, to get things synchronized. Okay, it might take some while. So you can see it is updating this part, which I started doing by hand. You can see it is updating the part. Okay. Yeah, but it didn't add the times. Okay. So here my data for the news. We have lots of data in one day. Return generate another. So it's telling us. So Y Finance, which I'm using the library, can only do 1 minute, and it can only go 7 days back. So if your strategy requires news article for the past 1 year, then you might have to think about how do you generate your news to span that 1 year, because mostly even the news API returns news for you that are not more than 3 days. Okay, only latest news. Okay. All right. So this one has updated with the time. Yeah, the interval now has been added to 1 minute. You don't want to write that, so I can just come here and replace this part. Okay, now let's look at the price data. Okay, now look at it. You see on the 18th, 930, 931, 932, this was the pricing. Okay, we have around 780 rows. Okay, now we are happy. We have integration with this. We can copy this. This is the next part. So we copy this and paste this part. Okay. Okay. which is good. We got, yeah, so it's a list of so index this. You can copy this here and tell it I got this error. Okay, so these are the techniques you can follow to build everything. I've shown you starting from how you incorporate the news. So for example, if you see the news, you can allow it to read. You can be executing your code manually once you see a positive sentiment. If you are not happy, you don't want to follow the sentiment, okay, one thing you can do is to just go and one thing you can do is to just go and automate it like I did here, where we place our order directly from our code environment to Alpaca, and you put whatever the ticker is, you buy, do everything. Okay, so now it is giving me some codes to update and also change the structure of the headline to look like this so that things will look, yeah, makes sense. Okay, but because of time, I will have to stop here. I will provide the code and everything for you. Okay. All right. So we have reached the end of this workshop. If you have any question, go ahead and ask. There are no questions. Then I thank you for taking the time and staying in the workshop all this time. All right. All right. Take care. Bye.